Welcome to this deep dive. You sent in some really interesting stuff exploring that whole tricky area of friendly roasting.
Hmm.
You know, how do you tease your friends without, well, starting World War III?
Right. It's definitely a tightrope walk.
Yeah.
And that's our mission today, really, to
Uh,
get a handle on it for you.
Yeah.
We want to pull out some practical rules, maybe look at how different cultures do it,
Oh, that's interesting.
and even figure out what to do if a joke, totally bombs. The idea is to help everyone feel a bit more confident, maybe have a few more laughs.
And the sources you shared are pretty comprehensive. They touch on like defining it, the rules, those cultural differences. You mentioned British, American, Australian.
Right.
How to recover when you mess up, office-appropriate peasing, that's minefield,
Oh, yeah.
and even a little listener challenge to try this stuff out.
So lots to dig into.
Okay, let's dive straight in. What makes a roast actually friendly, not just mean? It seems like there are three main rules that kept coming up.
Yeah, and it's interesting how they surface again and again. The first one is really key. Roast up, not down.
Roast up, meaning,
Meaning you tease someone about a choice they made. Like,
Yeah.
that shirt is certainly bold, something they picked.
right,
But you absolutely don't mock stuff they can't change. Their accent, how they look, things like that. It's about the decision, not the person.
gotcha. That makes sense. Keeps it playful, avoids hitting real sore spots.
Exactly.
And the second rule,
Self-deprecate first.
soften the blow.
Precisely. Throwing in a joke about yourself first. Something like, okay, look, I'm clueless about fashion, but even I think those socks are wild.
Yeah.
It just, signals you're not taking yourself too seriously either.
Yeah, it kind of says, we're all in this together. Let's have some fun.
Right. It creates that shared space. And the third rule sounds simple, but it's crucial.
Mm-hmm.
When to stop.
Oh, yeah. Reading the room.
Totally. One joke, funny. Two, maybe still okay, but keep piling on, maybe 5 jokes deep.
Starts to feel less like fun and more like, are you actually annoyed at me?
Exactly. The sources suggested that 5 joke mark is kind of a danger zone. People might start to genuinely wonder what's up.
So you really have to pay attention to how they're reacting, which kind of leads into the cultural stuff, right? Because how people react and how they roast varies a lot.
Oh, massively. The sources you sent highlighted some really fun differences between, say, American, British, and Australian styles.
Okay, let's hear it. American style.
Described as pretty playful and often loud. Lots of exaggeration.
To go over the top.
Yeah, but usually with a big smile or a wink, so the intent is clear. Think like, bro, did you get dressed in the dark this morning?
Yeah.
It's obvious hyperbole.
Okay. Direct, exaggerated, but clearly joking.
Right, which, might fit some stereotypes about American communication generally. More overt.
Okay. And the Brits.
The British style. Much more understated. Polite, even. But that's what makes it, well, the source called it deadly.
Deadly.
Because a seemingly innocent comment, maybe something like, that's quite the look, delivered deadpan, can basically mean you look absolutely awful. It's all in the subtlety, the implication.
Wow. It's the subtext. And didn't one source mention something about pauses?
Yes. The pro tip was that a longer pause before or after the comment can actually make that polite jab land even harder. Gives it weight.
That's brilliant. Very different vibe.
Completely.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Australians.
Right. What's their deal?
The description was basically brutal but affectionate.
Brutal but affectionate. How does that work?
Well, you might hear something incredibly direct, almost insulting sounding like, mate, you're as useful as a screen door on a submarine.
Okay, that sounds pretty harsh.
It does. But apparently, in the right context, among mates, it can actually be a term of endearment, a sign of real closeness.
Like, I can say this truly ridiculous thing to you because we're such good friends. You know I don't actually mean it badly.
Exactly that. The intensity itself signals the strength of the bond. It's fascinating.
It really is. And there was that listener hack suggestion too, right? About watching comedy.
Yeah, that was a great tip. Watching stand-up comedians from different countries is a good way to kind of absorb those different roast vibes passively. You see how they play with teasing and audience interaction.
Smart. Good way to get a feel for it. Okay, but what happens when it goes wrong? Because let's be honest, it sometimes does. You try to be funny and it just thuds.
Yeah, the dreaded failed roast. Happens to the best of us.
So recovery strategies.
The sources had a few. One was the too far face.
What?
The too far face, just like raising your eyebrows slightly, a little questioning look, as if to silently say, oops, too much.
Like a nonverbal check-in.
Exactly.
All right.
A quick way to gauge and signal you might have misstepped.
Hmm.
Relies on you noticing their reaction, of course.
Right. What else?
Then there's the instant compliment save.
Okay.
If your joke bombs, you immediately follow it with something genuinely nice.
Mm.
Like, if you made a joke about someone's messy desk that didn't land, you quickly add, but seriously, you always come up with the most creative ideas.
Okay, pivot fast. Smooth it over.
Yeah, course correction.
Hmm.
And sometimes you just need the full retreat.
I
Just owning it. A simple, sorry, just kidding. Didn't mean that how it sounded. Direct apology. Clears the air.
Probably the safest bet if you think you're really messed up.
Could be. But the absolute clearest rule that came through was, if they stop laughing, you stop roasting. Period.
That seems like the golden rule, really. If it's not fun anymore, stop.
Because the whole point is shared fun, right? Not making someone feel bad.
Exactly. Okay, so that's with friends. What about the workplace? Teasing colleagues or, heaven forbid, your boss.
Yeah, that's trickier. Higher stakes. More potential for things to be taken the wrong way.
Definitely. So, any tips for keeping it safe at work?
The main advice seemed to be, focus on things they control, but keep it light. Like maybe teasing someone about their coffee habit at number 3 or 4 today. Or maybe their slightly outdated tech, if you know they have a sense of humor about it. Still rocking the Nokia legend, stuff that isn't too personal or about their actual job performance.
Okay, controllable, lighthearted things. What else?
Obvious exaggeration can work there too. Something like, wow, someone woke up on the wrong side of the century this morning, if someone seems grumpy. The absurdity helps signal it's a joke.
But you still need to be careful, right? Like that regional thing.
Oh, absolutely. The source mentioned the southern U.S. phrase, bless your heart.
Right, sounds sweet.
Sounds sweet, but can often mean, wow, that was dumb, or you poor thing. Very polite on the surface, potentially cutting underneath. Context is everything.
It's like a secret code sometimes.
It really can be. And remember that listener story?
Oh, yeah. Or
like-
the boss.
Oh, yeah, where the person said something like, you're wild for that idea, meaning it was a bit out there.
And the boss took it as a massive compliment. Like, yes, I am innovative and wild.
Total misfire, even though it ended okay in that case. But it shows how easily things get misinterpreted at work.
Definitely underscores the need to, tread carefully,
Mm.
know your audience, know the workplace culture. For sure. Okay, so to help listeners actually try some of this out, there was that roast spy challenge.
Right, a little practical application. Mission 1 was just observation.
Spot a roast.
Yes, spot a friendly roast in a TV show or movie. The example was that subtle, that's a choice. Just start noticing it.
Okay, step 1, awareness. Step 2.
Mission 2, try one. A low-stakes one, the suggestion was using that bold on a friend's outfit. See how it feels, see how they react.
Gentle experiment. And mission 3.
For practice recovery.
Yeah.
If your test roast kind of flops, try that too far face.
Yeah.
Just practice the de-escalation bit in a safe context.
Makes sense. Like that example someone shared about calling their roommate's cooking experimental.
Yeah, and thankfully, the roommate laughed. So it worked out.
Good outcome. Okay, so as we sort of wrap this up, the big takeaway seems to be that roasting is an art, maybe a skill, not just firing off insults.
Absolutely. It's about being witty, being observant, but also being kind, fundamentally. Funny enough that they laugh with you, not feel laughed at.
Wield the roast wisely.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Which actually leads us into what we're looking at next time, given all this nuance.
Yeah.
We're diving into the dark art of sarcasm and how to not sound rude.
Ooh, another tricky one. Like when someone says, wow, great job, but they mean the exact opposite.
Exactly that, how tone and context completely flip the meaning.
Can't wait. So for our listeners, maybe the final thought for today is to just reflect on these styles. Think about your own way of teasing or how others tease you.
Yeah, does it lean more American direct, British subtle, Aussie brutal affectionate? And what does that say about your relationships or even, the wider culture you're in?
And how might others perceive your style? Definitely some food for thought there.